Hello.
Okay. Good?
I think so. Okay. Hello, my name is Rachel. I have a new life in Christ.
Hi, Rachel.
The Lord is recovering me from anxiety, approval of others, and people pleasing. I grew up in a Christian household. My father was a pastor who strived for perfection and order. Because of this, my mom and I were constantly living in fear and walking on eggshells throughout most of my childhood. As a young child, I wanted more than anything to feel loved. However, having an emotionally unavailable father made that very difficult. An event that changed my life was my dad passing away in a horrific car accident. I was only 8 years old at the time. After my dad passed away, I started to look at love and relationships differently, especially when it came to men. I grew up believing the assumption that love was something you had to earn and not something that was given. So throughout my life, I would become anxious and clingy with people, terrified that, like my dad, they too would end up leaving me. I eventually had my first serious relationship at 23 years old, and unfortunately, it wasn't like a teenage dream. Sorry, Katy Perry. It was filled with manipulation, control, love bombing, which heightened every single one of my insecurities. In many ways, this relationship mirrored the one I had with my father, one where, again, I found myself walking on eggshells. Yet, even when I wasn't actively pursuing a relationship with Christ, he never left me. Eventually, this toxic relationship reached its inevitable end, and it wasn't after being told my love is too much or you're worthless. The straw that broke me was being told by someone that I loved, this world would be a better place if you were no longer in it. Throughout Regen, God has revealed to me, wrong one, rewind. That statement shook me to my very core. I had never felt more lost and alone than when I had entered this relationship at the beginning. I had not only lost my identity in someone who didn't even want me, but my sanity as well. About 2 years later, I was at the end of my rope, emotionally, and so desperate for anyone to love me that my parents told me one night about this recovery program called Regen. And they said, "They are people who have issues just like you." I was so excited for my healing journey to finally begin. But my first night at Regen was a little bit intimidating. There were so many people that almost all the pews were filled up. So I decided it'd be best to sit in the back by myself. I was tempted to quietly sneak out of the back door and leave. Nobody would know. I mean, how would they know? They wouldn't know. When the song that was played, "Run to the Father" by Cody Carnes, starts playing. The lyrics say, "I run to the Father, I fall into grace, I'm done with the hiding, no reason to wait. My heart needs a surgeon, my soul needs a friend, so I run to the Father again and again and again." During that song, for the first time in a long time, I cried out to the Lord, and as I stood there worshiping, it felt like God was whispering to me, saying, "This is where you are supposed to be." When I started in my closed group, God showed me how out of control my life was, and how exhausted I am from trying to manage it all on my own. He also showed me how I needed to submit control of my life entirely over to him. One of the steps, step 3, trust, has been one of the most pivotal steps for me. Step 3 has taught me that we decide to trust God with our lives and wills by accepting his grace through Jesus Christ. God revealed to me through Regen that my desire and need of approval was a symptom of my sin. Trusting God is not easy in this life. There are many times I want to do things my way, like every day. Throughout Regen, God has revealed to me that I can put my trust in Him and that He has good plans for my life, even when I don't understand what He's doing. Step 4, inventory, was an eye-opening step for me. God taught me that there have been people that hurt me, but also to take accountability, there are people I have hurt as well. A verse that has been etched onto my heart since starting this program is 2 Corinthians 12, 9 through 10, which states, "My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness." Since going through Regen and finishing over a year ago the program, there has been so much joy and freedom in my life, all due to the glory of God. Last summer, my sister and I went to visit my grandparents. And I told my grandma, Karen, I want to go to the cemetery and visit my dad's grave. Because of Regen, I was able to implement step 8, forgiveness, and essentially, at my father's grave surrounded by these beautiful flowers, I was able to forgive him, finally, for all the hurt and pain that he caused me as a child, and accept that he wasn't perfect, but he was trying his best, and he did love me. Also, during this trip, God helped implement step 9, amends, and after years of holding resentments and keeping my grandma Karen at arm's length, I was able to reconcile with her. And again, God helped me see we are called to love. Life is too short to live in anger and resentment because God is so good. He cares about every detail of our lives. Even the ones that we think are insignificant, they matter to Him. In 1 Peter 5:7, he says, cast all your anxiety on Him. Not just some, he says all, in all caps, because He cares for you. In my newfound relationship with Christ, I am now able to accept that I don't need approval from others since I am already chosen and truly loved by the Most High King. I used to think that if everyone liked me and accepted me, then I'd be enough. But God has shown me that I am more than enough and created me just the way I am, quirks and all. Psalms 139 verses 13 through 14 state, which this is my all-time favorite verse, by the way, for you created my inmost being. You knit me together in my mother's womb. I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know that full well. This verse provides me with truth, honesty, and all the reassurance I could ever need. To know that people may come and go, but God will never leave me. As of today, God's not finished with me yet. I am a work in progress, working towards healing and restoration to become His beautiful masterpiece. God is still molding me, stretching me to grow and become more like Him. One thing is for sure, I'm not the same girl that walked through those doors 2 years ago, and I thank God every day for that. If I could leave you with one thing, it would be this. We are all broken, sin, and fall short of the glory of God. For those of you who don't know, that's Romans 3:23. Shout out. But you know what? God still loves us, just as we are. So if you are here tonight feeling broken, lost, and alone, then Regen is the place for you. Embrace your brokenness. Jesus can handle it. Trust me, He's seen way worse. Thank you for letting me share.